Consciousness is what makes us who we are. Our inner world, our ability to perceive, love, suffer, and create. The thought of its complete disappearance at death, of becoming nothing, can be unbearable. Throughout history, people have sought answers in religion, mythology, and philosophy. We've created belief systems promising a continued existence of the soul, reincarnation, or eternal peace. Today, in the age of science, we turn to neuroscience, psychology, and medicine. Can modern tools pierce the veil of mystery? Can we understand what happens to our most precious possession, our consciousness, when our last heartbeat fades? This isn't just about death. It's about life. Understanding what may await us after, or even trying to comprehend that boundary, can radically change our perspective on every moment. It can inspire us to live more fully, more consciously, cherishing every breath and interaction. That's why it's vital to explore this topic, facing its complexity with an open mind and heart, seeking not only answers, but also new questions to better understand ourselves and our place in the universe. We've just touched on one of life's greatest mysteries, a question that has haunted humanity for eons. But what if this is only the beginning of our journey beyond the known? If you want to stay tuned for future explorations of consciousness, if you don't want to miss out on this amazing journey, subscribe to Mysteries of the Spirit now and hit that like button. It might be your last chance to continue our fascinating dive into the secrets that await us beyond understanding. Don't miss it. If we can't directly answer what happens to consciousness after death, what can we explore? That's where near-death experiences, or NDEs, come in. For decades, this phenomenon has intrigued scientists and laypeople alike. Thousands of people who have been on the brink of death, experienced clinical death, and returned tell remarkably similar stories. They describe out-of-body experiences, traveling through a tunnel to a light, meeting deceased relatives or entities, a sense of all-encompassing love and peace, and sometimes a complete reevaluation of their lives. Are these hallucinations of a dying brain, or a glimpse beyond the veil? Neuroscience and psychology offer explanations. Scientists studied how oxygen deprivation, endorphin release, temporal lobe activity, or even anesthetics can trigger these sensations. Some theories suggest that the brain, trying to cope with trauma or stress, generates defense mechanisms or recreates deep-seated archetypes. For example, the tunnel sensation could be how the optic nerve reacts to lack of oxygen, and euphoria could stem from a surge of chemicals. They make us rethink the limits of our understanding of the brain and mind, offering food for thought about what's possible when our physical body is at the very edge. These stories, filled with light and transformation, inspire us to consider the deeper nature of our existence, and that our self may be far more complex and resilient than we think. There is knowledge about the last moments of consciousness that has been hidden for centuries. We'll reveal this secret that they don't want you to know. We've discussed near-death experiences, but what happens inside the brain during those crucial moments? Science, while unable to look behind the curtain, can study the final chords of this complex organ. Imagine an orchestra playing its last symphony. Instruments gradually fall silent, but before total quiet, there might be a powerful, unexpected finale. That's how some describe what happens in the human brain approaching death. These phenomena may explain some aspects of near-death experiences. For example, vivid visions, clarity of thought, or life reviews might result from this heightened but disorganized activity. Neurotransmitter releases, like serotonin and endorphins, triggered by stress and pain, can generate feelings of euphoria and peace reported by many who've had NDEs. The brain, trying to cope with a critical situation, may activate its deepest mechanisms, creating protective or comforting images. It's important to understand these scientific explanations don't diminish the depth and significance of near-death experiences. Instead, they highlight how complex and mysterious our brains are, capable of generating such powerful and transformative experiences even on the brink of existence. It's not simply a glitch or hallucination, but evidence of consciousness's incredible adaptability and potential. While science continues to seek answers, these final brain chords only deepen the mystery, making us more reverent towards every moment of life and the unknown that awaits beyond. While science cautiously explores the physiological aspects of the dying brain, humanity has sought answers to the question of post-mortem consciousness in other realms. Philosophy, religion, mythology. These ancient traditions offer a rich tapestry of views, which, while not strictly scientific, shape our worldview and offer comfort to millions. Ancient Egyptians believed in a complex journey of the soul through the duat, the world of the dead, where it faced judgment and the possibility of eternal life. Greek philosophers, like Plato, contemplated the immortality of the soul, separate from the body, and its return to the world of ideas. Eastern teachings, like Buddhism and Hinduism, offer concepts of reincarnation, where consciousness, or Atman, is reborn in new bodies, passing through cycles of samsara in search of nirvana or moksha. Christianity and Islam speak of resurrection, of life after death, in heaven or hell, where the soul stands before God. These diverse approaches, despite their differences, share one thing: a deep human need to make sense of the ultimate journey. They offer hope for continuation, for justice, for reunions with loved ones. They help us cope with the fear of the unknown and give meaning to our mortal lives. As a popular science expert, it's important not so much to choose the right answer, but to appreciate the depth and diversity of human experience, its ability to create meaning where science is still silent. Philosophy, in turn, offers us tools for reflection without relying on dogma. It questions the nature of consciousness. Is it an emergent property of the brain, or a fundamental essence that only manifests through the brain? These debates continue today, inspiring us to seek new paradigms and discoveries. In this search, whether in ancient texts or in modern scientific labs, we find not only answers, but a deeper understanding of our own humanity, our capacity for faith, for hope, for endless curiosity in the face of the greatest mystery. We've come a long way in our exploration, looking beyond science and philosophy, trying to make sense of what happens to consciousness immediately after death. We've seen science attempt to decipher the last signals of the brain, and ancient teachings offer their versions of continuation. But perhaps the most important takeaway from this journey is not finding a definitive answer to what's there, but understanding how to live here and now. This great mystery, instead of scaring us, can become a powerful source of inspiration. If we don't know for sure what awaits us beyond the final line, perhaps that very ignorance should prompt us to cherish every moment, every breath, every connection. Understanding the inevitability of the end shouldn't paralyze us, but on the contrary, should serve as a reminder of the fragility and value of life. As a popular science expert, I can say, whether you believe in a post-mortem existence of consciousness or not, the very attempt to make sense of this boundary enriches our lives. It makes us think about our values, about what really matters. It can be a call to deeper connections with loved ones, to fulfilling our dreams, to finding meaning in everyday life. Perhaps our consciousness, our self, is not just a function of the brain, but something much more that manifests through our existence. Even if